the darkness, one of the world's rarest mammals begins an extraordinary journey. From finding a mate to raising a tiny baby on its armored back. But surviving long enough to become a mother is its greatest challenge. As the sun disappears below the horizon, the African forest slowly comes alive. The daytime chorus of birds fades away, replaced by the sounds of crickets, frogs, and rustling leaves. Hidden beneath the roots of a large tree, a small opening leads into an underground burrow. Slowly, an unusual animal emerges. Covered from head to tail in overlapping scales, with a long, narrow snout and powerful curved claws, the pangolin steps quietly into the night. It is one of the world's most mysterious mammals, rarely seen by people because it spends most of its life hidden under the cover of darkness. Unlike lions that hunt in prides or elephants that travel in family groups, pangolins are solitary creatures. Most of their lives are spent alone, wandering silently through forests and grasslands in search of food. Every movement is slow, careful, and deliberate, helping them avoid unwanted attention from predators. Although its eyesight is relatively poor, the pangolin possesses an extraordinary sense of smell. Every few steps, it lowers its nose toward the ground, searching for invisible scent trails carried by the cool night air. Its search soon leads it to a large termite mound. Using enormous curved claws, the pangolin tears through the hardened soil with surprising strength. Within seconds, thousands of termites begin rushing through their tunnels. Then comes one of nature's most fascinating feeding adaptations. The pangolin extends an incredibly long, sticky tongue deep into the nest. Unlike human tongues, a pangolin's tongue is attached near its chest instead of directly inside the mouth, allowing it to stretch astonishing distances. Every time it withdraws its tongue, hundreds of termites cling to the sticky surface before being swallowed whole. Without teeth, the pangolin relies on powerful stomach muscles and tiny swallowed stones to help grind its food during digestion. Night after night, this quiet routine continues. But tonight, something unusual happens. The female suddenly pauses. She lifts her head, sniffing the air with great concentration. A new scent drifts through the forest. Somewhere nearby, a male pangolin has been searching for a mate. Guided almost entirely by scent, the two slowly move toward one another beneath the moonlit trees. There is no roaring, no fighting, and no dramatic display. Instead, they communicate through subtle body language and gentle movements. The male cautiously circles the female, occasionally stopping to sniff the ground or lightly touch her with his nose. The female calmly observes him, deciding whether he is an acceptable mate. Their courtship is peaceful, patient, and remarkably quiet. Eventually, after both animals accept one another, mating takes place. Unlike many mammals that remain together, pangolins separate soon afterward. The male quietly disappears back into the forest, continuing his solitary life. The female is now completely alone. Inside her body, however, an extraordinary transformation has already begun. Over the coming months, a tiny new life slowly develops. Every insect she eats, every safe shelter she finds, and every dangerous predator she avoids now affects not only her own survival, but also the future of her unborn baby. Pregnancy is a demanding time. The mother must consume enormous numbers of ants and termites to meet her growing nutritional needs. Each night, she travels across forests, woodlands, and open savannas, searching for fresh insect colonies hidden beneath fallen logs, tree roots, and underground tunnels. Her muscular forelimbs allow her to break apart even the toughest termite mounds. Thick claws slice through packed earth, while her long, sticky tongue reaches deep into narrow passageways that few other animals can access. Every successful meal provides protein, fats, vitamins, and minerals that nourish the developing baby inside her womb. As the weeks pass, the mother's movements become slower and more cautious. She spends increasing amounts of time resting inside her underground burrow, where cool temperatures and thick walls provide protection from harsh weather and hungry predators. Inside her body, the baby grows rapidly. Tiny limbs begin to form. Small claws develop. Its distinctive scales slowly appear, soft and flexible at first. Unlike the hardened armor they will later become. Finally, after several months of pregnancy, the moment arrives. Deep inside the darkness of her burrow, the mother gives birth to a single tiny pangolin. The newborn is incredibly small compared to its mother, but it already possesses the unmistakable features of its species: a long snout, curved claws, and delicate scales covering its body. At birth, those scales remain soft, allowing the baby to move comfortably during delivery. Within only a few days, they gradually harden into protective armor. The newborn rarely leaves its mother's side. For the first several weeks, it feeds entirely on milk while sleeping safely beside her. Whenever danger approaches, the mother instinctively curls her powerful body around the baby, creating a living shield that protects it from harm. Few mothers in the animal kingdom are as devoted. Although pangolins appear heavily armored, newborns are extremely vulnerable. Every journey outside the burrow is filled with risk. When the baby grows slightly stronger, the mother introduces it to the outside world. One evening, she carefully leaves the burrow with the tiny pangolin climbing onto her broad tail and lower back. This remarkable behavior has become one of the most recognizable images of pangolin motherhood. The baby grips tightly to its mother's overlapping scales while riding comfortably through the forest. From this elevated position, it safely observes everything around it. It watches insects crawling across fallen logs. It sees birds flying overhead. It listens as frogs call from nearby streams. Most importantly, it begins learning the skills needed for survival. The mother demonstrates how to locate termite colonies by following scent trails. She teaches the young pangolin where to dig, how to break apart hard soil, and how to insert its tongue into narrow tunnels without wasting energy. At first, the baby struggles. Its claws are still small. Its digging is clumsy. Sometimes it misses its target completely. But with every passing week, its strength improves. Soon it begins catching insects on its own. As the young pangolin grows, so does its confidence. It spends less time riding on its mother's back and more time walking beside her. Its scales become thicker. Its muscles grow stronger. Its sense of smell becomes increasingly refined. But the forest remains full of danger. Leopards silently patrol the undergrowth. Large pythons wait beneath thick vegetation. Hyenas roam nearby during the night. Even large birds of prey may target young animals whenever an opportunity appears. One quiet evening, everything changes. The mother suddenly freezes. Her sensitive nose detects an unfamiliar scent drifting through the wind. A leopard is nearby. Without hesitation, she gently nudges her baby closer. Then she performs one of nature's most extraordinary defensive behaviors. Using incredibly powerful muscles, she curls into a perfectly tight armored ball. The baby instinctively presses against its mother's belly, completely protected inside the circle of overlapping scales. When fully curled, very few predators can force a pangolin open. The leopard cautiously approaches. It sniffs the strange armored ball. It nudges it with a paw. It even attempts to bite the scales. But there is no weak point. After several unsuccessful attempts, the predator eventually loses interest and quietly walks away in search of easier prey. Only then does the mother slowly uncurl. She gently checks her baby before continuing their journey through the forest as if nothing had happened. Weeks turn into months. The young pangolin grows stronger with every passing day. Its scales have now hardened into effective armor. Its claws have become powerful digging tools. Its long, sticky tongue captures insects with remarkable precision. More importantly, it has learned patience, caution, and independence from watching its mother. Eventually, the young pangolin no longer rides on her back. Instead, it confidently walks beside her, searching for food and exploring the forest on its own. Soon the time comes for them to separate. The young pangolin quietly leaves to begin its own solitary life, following ancient instincts that have guided its ancestors for millions of years. The mother watches briefly before disappearing into the darkness once more. Her extraordinary journey has come full circle. Yet this story also carries an important message. Pangolins are among the most heavily trafficked mammals on Earth. Habitat destruction, illegal hunting, and wildlife trafficking continue to threaten their survival across Africa and Asia. Every newborn that reaches adulthood represents hope for the future of a species that has survived for millions of years but now faces unprecedented challenges. The next time you hear about a pangolin, remember that beneath those remarkable scales is not only one of Earth's most unique mammals, but also a devoted mother whose patience, resilience, and determination help ensure the survival of the next generation. If you enjoyed discovering the hidden life of the pangolin, from mating to motherhood, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BodyverseTV for more incredible wildlife documentaries, fascinating animal behavior, and amazing stories from the natural world. Have you ever wondered what makes an ape's skeleton different from a human's? At first glance, humans and great apes look remarkably similar. We both have skulls, spines, ribs, arms, hands, legs, and feet arranged in nearly the same way. In fact, our skeletons share many of the same bones. But a closer look reveals fascinating differences that allow each species to move, climb, and survive in very different ways. The first major difference is the skull. Humans have a larger, rounder brain case to support a bigger brain, especially the regions responsible for language, reasoning, and complex thinking. Great apes, such as gorillas and chimpanzees, have heavier jaws, stronger facial muscles, and larger canine teeth. Their skulls are built for powerful biting and chewing, while human skulls are optimized for supporting a larger brain. The spine is another important difference. Humans have an S-shaped spine that keeps the body balanced while standing and walking upright. This curved design absorbs shock and allows efficient movement on two legs. Great apes have a more C-shaped spine, which is better suited for climbing, swinging, and moving on all fours. The rib cage also differs. Humans have a barrel-shaped chest that supports upright posture and efficient breathing during long walks or running. Great apes have a broader, cone-shaped chest that provides space for massive shoulder and back muscles needed for climbing and pulling. One of the most obvious differences is the arms. Gorilla and chimpanzee arms are much longer than their legs, giving them incredible reach and climbing ability. Humans have shorter arms because our bodies are designed primarily for walking upright and using our hands for precise tasks rather than supporting body weight. The hands reveal another fascinating adaptation. Both humans and apes have opposable thumbs, allowing them to grasp objects. However, ape fingers are much longer and more curved, making them excellent for gripping tree branches. Human fingers are shorter and straighter, providing greater precision for writing, building tools, and performing delicate movements. The pelvis is completely different as well. Humans have a short, wide pelvis that supports the body's weight while standing and walking on two legs. Great apes have a longer, narrower pelvis that allows greater flexibility for climbing and quadrupedal movement. Leg anatomy also reflects these differences. Human legs are longer than our arms, helping us walk and run efficiently over long distances. Great apes have shorter but much stronger legs that generate tremendous power for climbing, jumping, and supporting their heavy bodies. The feet tell an equally interesting story. Human feet have strong arches that act like natural springs, absorbing shock and improving balance while walking. Great ape feet have longer, grasping toes that function almost like an extra pair of hands, allowing them to climb trees with remarkable agility. Perhaps the biggest difference is how humans and apes move. Humans are fully adapted for upright walking, with muscles, joints, and bones working together to maintain balance on two legs. Gorillas and chimpanzees usually move using knuckle walking, where their powerful arms support much of their body weight while their legs provide stability and forward movement. Muscle distribution also varies greatly. Great apes possess enormous shoulders, forearms, chest muscles, and upper backs that give them extraordinary strength for climbing and pulling. Humans have a more balanced muscle distribution, designed for endurance, fine motor control, and efficient movement rather than raw strength. Despite these differences, the similarities between human and ape skeletons are remarkable. We share nearly all the same major bones arranged in almost identical patterns. These shared features reflect our close biological relationship, while also showing how millions of years of evolution shaped each species for different lifestyles. The next time you compare a human with a great ape, remember that the differences are not simply about size or strength. Every bone, joint, and muscle has evolved to perform a specific function. Human anatomy is perfectly adapted for upright walking, endurance, and precision, while ape anatomy is built for climbing, power, and life in challenging natural environments. If you enjoyed this realistic 3D anatomy documentary, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow for more fascinating animal anatomy, human biology, and science documentaries. Have you ever wondered why some twins look exactly alike, while others look no more similar than ordinary brothers and sisters? Although both are called twins, they are formed in two very different ways. Understanding these amazing biological processes reveals one of nature's greatest miracles, the creation of two new human lives. Every twin pregnancy begins the same way. Inside the female reproductive system, the ovaries prepare mature eggs during each menstrual cycle. Normally, one ovary releases a single egg during ovulation. This egg travels into one of the fallopian tubes, where it waits for fertilization. At the same time, millions of sperm begin an extraordinary journey through the female reproductive tract after ejaculation. Their mission is simple, but incredibly difficult. Only one sperm can fertilize an egg. Twins begin to form when something unique happens during this process. Depending on how fertilization occurs, the pregnancy will develop into either identical twins or fraternal twins. Let's begin with fraternal twins, the most common type of twins worldwide. Fraternal twins occur when a woman releases two separate mature eggs during the same menstrual cycle instead of just one. This event is known as double ovulation. The two eggs may come from the same ovary or from both ovaries at the same time. As millions of sperm travel through the reproductive tract, two healthy sperm successfully reach the two separate eggs. Each sperm fertilizes its own egg independently. At that exact moment, two completely separate embryos begin forming. Although they develop during the same pregnancy, these embryos are genetically unique. Just like ordinary brothers and sisters, each embryo receives half of its DNA from the mother and half from the father. Because different sperm fertilize different eggs, their genetic combinations are not identical. This is why fraternal twins may have different facial features, different eye colors, different hair colors, different personalities, and sometimes even different sexes. One twin may be a boy, while the other is a girl. They simply happen to share the same womb and birthday. After fertilization, each embryo begins dividing into more and more cells. The first single cell divides into 2, then 4, then 8, and continues multiplying rapidly as both embryos travel separately through the fallopian tubes toward the uterus. Several days later, each growing embryo develops into a structure called a blastocyst. The blastocyst contains hundreds of specialized cells that will eventually form the baby, the placenta, and supporting tissues needed for pregnancy. When the blastocysts reach the uterus, each implants into the thick uterine lining independently. Since they began as two separate fertilized eggs, they usually develop with two separate placentas and two separate amniotic sacs, although in some pregnancies the placentas may grow close together and appear fused. Now let's explore the fascinating formation of identical twins. Identical twins begin very differently. Unlike fraternal twins, identical twins start with only one egg and one sperm. A single healthy sperm successfully fertilizes one mature egg inside the fallopian tube. This creates one fertilized cell called a zygote. The zygote begins dividing normally, just like any other pregnancy. It divides into 2 cells, then 4, then 8, continuing to multiply while traveling toward the uterus. Then something extraordinary happens. During the earliest stages of development, the growing embryo unexpectedly separates into 2 completely independent embryos. Scientists still do not fully understand why this natural split occurs. It happens spontaneously and cannot be predicted or controlled. Because both embryos originate from the exact same fertilized egg, they contain identical genetic material. This means identical twins share virtually the same DNA. Since their genes are almost identical, they are always the same biological sex. Both will be boys or both will be girls. They often have remarkably similar facial features, hair color, eye color, blood type, and many other inherited characteristics. However, although they share identical DNA, identical twins are not perfect copies of one another. Small differences develop over time due to environmental influences inside the womb, tiny random biological changes during development, nutrition, health conditions, and life experiences after birth. These factors explain why identical twins may develop different fingerprints, different personalities, or subtle physical differences as they grow older. The timing of the embryo split also determines how the pregnancy develops. If the embryo separates very early, each baby develops its own placenta and its own amniotic sac. If the split occurs slightly later, the babies may share one placenta while remaining inside separate amniotic sacs. If the split happens even later, both babies may share both the placenta and the amniotic sac, creating a much rarer and higher risk pregnancy that requires close medical monitoring. Regardless of whether the twins are identical or fraternal, implantation marks the next critical stage of pregnancy. During implantation, the embryo attaches securely to the nutrient-rich lining of the uterus. Specialized cells begin invading the uterine wall, creating the earliest connection between the mother and the developing baby. Tiny blood vessels rapidly grow around the implanted embryo. These blood vessels eventually form the placenta, an extraordinary organ that serves as the baby's life support system throughout pregnancy. The placenta delivers oxygen, nutrients, hormones, antibodies, and other essential substances from the mother's bloodstream while removing carbon dioxide and waste products produced by the growing baby. The umbilical cord soon develops, connecting each baby directly to its placenta. Oxygen-rich blood continuously flows through the cord, supplying everything needed for healthy development. As the weeks pass, both embryos undergo remarkable transformation. The earliest organs begin forming. The brain develops rapidly, the neural tube becomes the spinal cord. The tiny heart starts beating only a few weeks after fertilization, circulating blood through the growing body. Small buds appear where the arms and legs will develop. Fingers and toes gradually separate. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth, lungs, liver, kidneys, and digestive organs continue forming in a carefully coordinated sequence directed by genetic instructions. Inside a twin pregnancy, both babies grow together while floating inside warm, amniotic fluid that cushions and protects them from injury. The babies begin moving long before the mother can feel them. They stretch, bend, swallow, yawn, suck their thumbs, and even respond to sounds and light as pregnancy progresses. Although twins share the same uterus, each baby develops as an individual. Doctors carefully monitor twin pregnancies because carrying two babies places greater demands on both the mother and the developing babies. Twin pregnancies have a higher chance of premature birth, low birth weight, and certain pregnancy complications, especially when the babies share a placenta. Regular prenatal care allows healthcare professionals to monitor fetal growth, placental health, blood flow, and overall development using ultrasound and other medical examinations. As the babies continue growing, the uterus expands to create enough space for both of them. Blood volume increases significantly, the placenta works continuously, and the mother's body adapts to support two developing lives at the same time. Near the end of pregnancy, both babies gradually move into positions preparing for birth. Sometimes both babies are head down, while in other pregnancies, one baby may remain in a bridge position. The safest delivery method depends on the baby's positions, gestational age, and the overall health of both mother and babies. Eventually, labor begins. Powerful uterine contractions gradually open the cervix, allowing the first baby to move through the birth canal. After the first twin is born, labor continues until the second baby follows. Within seconds after birth, each newborn takes its first breath. The lungs expand with air for the first time, replacing the placenta as the source of oxygen. Their circulatory systems rapidly adapt to life outside the womb as they begin crying, moving, and responding to the world around them. Whether identical or fraternal, every set of twins represents one of biology's most extraordinary achievements. Some begin with one fertilized egg that becomes two babies. Others begin with two separate eggs fertilized independently at nearly the same time. Both pathways demonstrate the incredible complexity, precision, and beauty of human development. From the release of an egg, to fertilization, to implantation, to the first heartbeat, and finally to birth. The formation of twins reminds us that every human life begins with an extraordinary journey that continues to amaze scientists, doctors, and families around the world. If you enjoyed this realistic 3D anatomy documentary, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow for more fascinating human anatomy, embryology, pregnancy, and medical science documentaries. The forest becomes a completely different world when the sun goes down. While most animals are settling into the darkness, a masked face quietly emerges from the shadows. A raccoon, small enough to disappear beneath the trees, but clever enough to survive in some of the most challenging environments. And tonight, this female raccoon is beginning a journey that will eventually lead to one of nature's most remarkable stories. From finding a mate, to choosing a safe den, to raising a new generation. But before motherhood begins, the story starts with a search. The female moves carefully through the woodland, stopping every few seconds to sniff the ground and listen. Her ears rotate toward distant sounds. Her whiskers move as she investigates fallen leaves, tree roots, and branches. Raccoons are mostly nocturnal, so darkness is not an obstacle to them. It is when their world truly comes alive. During the breeding season, males and females may encounter one another while moving through their home ranges. A male approaches cautiously. The female notices him. For a moment, they remain separated by the vegetation, watching and smelling the air around them. There is no dramatic ceremony, no human-like romance, just two wild animals responding to instinct in the conditions around them. Eventually, the female moves on, but her journey is about to change. After mating, she will eventually need something far more important than companionship. She will need a safe place for her young, and finding that place can make the difference between life and death. The female begins investigating possible shelters: a hollow tree, a protected space beneath a fallen log, a quiet cavity hidden among dense vegetation. She carefully examines each location. She sniffs the entrance. She looks inside. She checks the surroundings. The perfect den must provide protection from weather, predators, and other dangers. Finally, she finds a sheltered hollow. It is dark, protected, and difficult for other animals to reach. This will become the nursery. Inside the den, the female rests and prepares for the arrival of her young. After a gestation period of roughly 2 months, something extraordinary happens. A new generation arrives. The newborn kits are tiny, helpless, and completely dependent on their mother. Their eyes are closed. Their movements are limited. They cannot survive on their own. For the first weeks of their lives, the den is their entire world. The mother stays close. She grooms them, keeps them warm, and protects them from danger. Every tiny squeak is important. Every movement tells her that her babies are alive and developing. Outside, the forest continues as normal. Birds move through the trees. Insects crawl through the leaves. Other predators search for food. But hidden inside the hollow tree, a completely different story is unfolding. The kits are growing, slowly at first, then more quickly. Their bodies become stronger. Their characteristic facial markings become more obvious, and eventually their eyes begin to open. For the first time, they can see the world that exists beyond their mother's fur. But seeing the outside world is one thing. Being ready for it is another. The mother knows when it is time to begin introducing them to life outside the den. One of the kits approaches the entrance. It hesitates. Its tiny paws touch the edge of the opening. The forest suddenly looks enormous. The young raccoon takes another step, then another, and finally it emerges. The world outside is filled with unfamiliar smells, sounds, textures, and movement. The mother remains nearby. She does not need to carry them everywhere. Instead, she allows them to explore while staying close enough to respond if danger appears. This is where the real education begins. The young raccoons watch their mother. They follow her movements. They investigate everything around them. A fallen branch becomes something to climb. A patch of leaves becomes something to search through. A tree root becomes a place to sniff and investigate. Their mother is teaching them without words. She is showing them how to move through their environment, how to search, how to climb, how to stay alert, and perhaps most importantly, how to survive. The kits begin practicing their climbing skills. One grips a small tree trunk with its paws. It climbs a little higher, then slips back down. Another follows. The mother watches nearby. Every mistake becomes part of the learning process. As the young raccoons grow, their confidence increases. They begin spending more time outside, but they still stay close to their mother. At night, the family moves through the forest together. The mother searches through leaves and soil, while the young raccoons investigate the world around them. Raccoons are opportunistic feeders, so their diet can include many different foods depending on what is available. They may search for insects, fruits, nuts, small animals, eggs, and other food sources. Their sensitive paws and strong sense of smell help them investigate their surroundings. But the forest is never completely safe. Suddenly, the mother stops. Her ears point forward. Her body becomes still. Something has moved in the darkness. The young raccoons immediately stay close. For several seconds, the entire family waits. The mother listens. She watches. Then the danger disappears. Only after the forest becomes quiet again does she continue moving. This is another lesson for the young. Survival is not always about fighting. Sometimes survival means knowing when to stop, when to listen, and when to move away. Weeks continue to pass. The young raccoons become larger. Their movements become faster. Their climbing becomes more confident. They begin exploring farther from their mother, but she continues watching them. Eventually, the difference becomes obvious. These are no longer helpless newborns. They are young raccoons learning to become independent. One explores a fallen tree. Another searches beneath leaves. Another climbs higher into a nearby trunk. The mother watches for a moment before continuing through the forest. The kits are beginning their own lives. And somewhere in that same woodland, another generation will eventually begin the same journey. A raccoon is born into darkness. It grows inside a hidden den. It opens its eyes. It takes its first steps outside. It learns to climb. It learns to search for food. It learns to recognize danger. And eventually it becomes independent. Years later, that young raccoon may become a parent itself, and the cycle begins again. From mating, to pregnancy, to a hidden den, to tiny newborn kits, to their first steps into the forest, and finally, to independence. The hidden life of a raccoon is not simply a story about one animal. It is a story about survival, about adaptation, about learning, and about a mother preparing her young for a world that does not offer second chances. That is what makes the raccoon so fascinating. Behind those familiar black markings is an animal capable of navigating darkness, finding shelter, adapting to changing environments, and raising young in a world filled with uncertainty. The next time you see a raccoon moving quietly through the darkness, remember, you may be looking at an animal carrying millions of years of survival instincts, a creature that spends much of its life hidden from our eyes. But inside the darkness of the forest, an entire world is unfolding. And somewhere tonight, another mother may be leading her young into the night, teaching them the same lessons that will one day allow them to survive on their own. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden life of the raccoon, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to BodyverseTV for more incredible wildlife documentaries, animal behavior, and fascinating stories from the natural world. Have you ever wondered how one of the largest and strongest animals on Earth is perfectly designed for survival? At first glance, a buffalo may appear to be nothing more than a giant grass-eating mammal, peacefully roaming open grasslands or wetlands. But hidden beneath its thick skin lies one of nature's most remarkable biological machines. Every bone, muscle, organ, blood vessel, nerve, and even its digestive microbes work together with incredible precision, allowing the buffalo to survive harsh climates, escape predators, travel long distances, and consume enormous quantities of vegetation every single day. Buffaloes belong to the Bovidae family, alongside cattle, bison, antelopes, sheep, and goats. The two best-known species are the African buffalo, which inhabits the grasslands and forests of sub-Saharan Africa, and the Asian water buffalo, commonly found across South and Southeast Asia. Although they occupy different environments, both species share remarkably similar anatomy that has evolved over millions of years to maximize strength, endurance, and survival. Everything begins with the skeleton, the internal framework that supports the buffalo's massive body. An adult buffalo can weigh anywhere between 500 kilograms and well over 1,200 kilograms, meaning its bones must withstand tremendous forces every time it walks, runs, or charges. The skeleton is made up of more than 200 bones that provide both strength and flexibility. Dense outer layers of compact bone resist fracture, while lighter inner spongy bone reduces weight without sacrificing durability. The skull is among the strongest bones in the buffalo's body. It protects the brain while supporting the enormous horns that serve as powerful defensive weapons. In mature African buffalo bulls, the bases of the horns fuse into a thick shield known as the horn boss. This solid structure absorbs tremendous impacts during battles with rival males and provides additional protection when confronting predators such as lions. Inside the skull are large air-filled cavities that reduce overall weight while maintaining structural strength. The eye sockets protect the large eyes, while the nasal passages filter, warm, and humidify incoming air before it reaches the lungs. Powerful jaw muscles attach directly to the skull, generating the immense force needed to grind coarse grasses hour after hour. Supporting this heavy head are 7 large cervical vertebrae that form the neck. Although nearly all mammals have 7 neck vertebrae, those of the buffalo are especially thick and robust. Massive neck muscles anchor to these bones, allowing the buffalo to lower its head for grazing, raise it quickly to scan for danger, or swing it with astonishing power during combat. The vertebral column extends from the neck through the back and into the tail, protecting the spinal cord while supporting the body's enormous weight. Thick ligaments reinforce the spine, allowing controlled flexibility without sacrificing stability. Attached to the thoracic vertebrae are strong ribs that surround the chest cavity, forming a protective cage around the heart and lungs. These ribs expand slightly during each breath, allowing efficient ventilation while shielding vital organs from injury. The pelvis forms another crucial component of the skeleton. This broad, sturdy structure connects the spine to the hind limbs and transfers tremendous forces during movement. Long limb bones, including the femur, tibia, humerus, radius, and ulna, support the buffalo's immense body while allowing surprisingly agile movement. Each joint is covered with smooth cartilage that minimizes friction. Synovial fluid lubricates these joints continuously, ensuring smooth movement even after traveling many kilometers. Thick ligaments stabilize each joint, while tendons transmit muscular force directly to the bones. At the ends of the limbs are cloven hooves made primarily of keratin, the same protein found in human fingernails. Their broad surface distributes body weight evenly, preventing the buffalo from sinking into soft mud while providing excellent traction across grasslands, forests, and wetlands. Flexible pads within the hooves absorb impact, protecting joints and bones during running. While the skeleton provides the framework, muscles generate movement. The buffalo's muscular system is extraordinarily powerful. Massive neck muscles support the heavy skull and horns, while enabling forceful head movements during combat. Large shoulder muscles suspend the forelimbs from the body, creating a natural shock-absorbing system that reduces impact with every step. Strong chest muscles stabilize the front limbs, while long muscles running along the spine maintain posture and support the enormous digestive organs. Thick abdominal muscles help support the 4-chambered stomach while assisting breathing and movement. The hindquarters contain some of the largest muscles in the body, including the gluteal muscles, quadriceps, and hamstrings. These muscles generate tremendous force, allowing a buffalo to accelerate rapidly despite its enormous size. Inside every muscle are millions of microscopic fibers containing mitochondria, the tiny energy-producing structures that convert nutrients into usable energy. Rich networks of blood vessels continuously supply oxygen while removing waste products, ensuring muscles remain functional during long periods of activity. Coordinating all these muscles is the nervous system. At its center lies the brain, protected inside the thick skull. Although relatively small compared to overall body size, the buffalo's brain is perfectly adapted to its lifestyle. The cerebrum processes information from the senses, stores memories, recognizes herd members, and helps make survival decisions. Buffaloes possess remarkable social intelligence, forming close herd relationships and cooperating when facing predators. The cerebellum coordinates movement, ensuring that muscles contract in perfect sequence during walking, running, or charging. The brainstem regulates automatic life-supporting functions, including breathing, heart rate, digestion, and blood pressure. Extending from the brain is the spinal cord, enclosed safely within the vertebral column. Millions of nerve fibers travel through this structure, carrying information between the brain and every part of the body. Peripheral nerves branch outward to muscles, skin, joints, and organs, allowing the buffalo to sense its environment and respond instantly. Vision provides one of the buffalo's primary defenses against predators. Its eyes are positioned on the sides of the head, giving it an exceptionally wide field of view. Large pupils collect light efficiently during dawn and dusk when predators are most active. Behind the retina lies the tapetum lucidum, a reflective layer that enhances vision in low-light conditions. Large mobile ears rotate independently to capture sounds from every direction. Vibrations travel through the ear canal to the eardrum before passing through tiny middle ear bones into the inner ear, where specialized sensory cells convert them into electrical signals sent to the brain. Perhaps even more important is the buffalo's powerful sense of smell. Millions of receptors inside the nasal cavity detect predators, herd members, food sources, and water from remarkable distances. Incoming air is filtered, warmed, and humidified before passing into the respiratory system. Air travels through the trachea before dividing into two bronchi that enter the lungs. Inside the lungs, these bronchi divide repeatedly into smaller bronchioles, ending in millions of microscopic air sacs called alveoli. Here, oxygen diffuses into surrounding blood vessels, while carbon dioxide leaves the bloodstream to be exhaled. This constant exchange provides every cell in the buffalo's body with the oxygen needed for energy production. Powering this entire circulatory system is a large four-chambered heart. The right side pumps oxygen-poor blood toward the lungs, while the left side pumps oxygen-rich blood throughout the body. Thick muscular walls allow the heart to generate enough pressure to circulate blood through an animal weighing over a ton. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart before branching into tiny capillaries throughout every organ and muscle. Nutrients and oxygen leave the bloodstream while carbon dioxide and waste products enter it. Veins then return blood to the heart, completing this continuous cycle. Blood serves many functions beyond transporting oxygen. It carries nutrients from the digestive system, hormones from endocrine glands, immune cells that fight infection, and waste products destined for removal. Blood also helps regulate body temperature by redistributing heat throughout the body. The buffalo's digestive system is among the most fascinating in the animal kingdom. It begins in the mouth, where broad lower incisors press vegetation against a tough upper dental pad instead of upper front teeth. A large muscular tongue grasps grass while strong molars grind plant material into smaller pieces. After swallowing, food enters the first stomach chamber, known as the rumen. This enormous fermentation chamber contains billions of bacteria, fungi, and protozoa that digest cellulose, something the buffalo itself cannot accomplish. These microbes convert tough plant fibers into volatile fatty acids that become the buffalo's primary source of energy. From the rumen, food enters the reticulum, where larger particles are formed into cud and returned to the mouth for additional chewing. This process, called rumination, allows buffaloes to extract maximum nutrition from poor quality vegetation. Food then moves into the amasum, where water and minerals are absorbed through numerous folded tissues resembling the pages of a book. Finally, it enters the abomasum, the true stomach, where powerful digestive acids and enzymes break down proteins before food reaches the intestines. The small intestine absorbs nutrients through millions of tiny finger-like projections called villi. Nearby, the liver processes nutrients, stores energy, produces bile, detoxifies harmful substances, and manufactures important proteins. The pancreas releases digestive enzymes and hormones that regulate blood sugar. Remaining material enters the large intestine, where additional water is absorbed before waste is eventually eliminated. The kidneys continuously filter the blood, removing waste products while maintaining proper water and mineral balance. Millions of microscopic nephrons regulate blood chemistry with remarkable precision. The kidneys also help regulate blood pressure and stimulate the production of red blood cells. Protecting every organ is a sophisticated immune system. White blood cells patrol the bloodstream searching for harmful bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Lymph nodes filter lymphatic fluid, while the spleen stores immune cells and removes aging blood cells. Bone marrow inside the large bones continuously produces new blood cells, ensuring the buffalo remains healthy throughout its life. The skin forms the body's first line of defense. Thick layers of collagen-rich tissue resist cuts, insect bites, and abrasions. Coarse hair provides moderate insulation while helping protect against sunlight and parasites. Buffaloes frequently wallow in mud, creating a protective coating that cools the body and discourages biting insects. The reproductive system ensures the continuation of the species. Healthy females typically produce one calf after a gestation period lasting around 11 months. Newborn calves can stand within minutes and begin following the herd shortly after birth, an essential adaptation for survival in predator-rich environments. Perhaps the buffalo's greatest survival advantage is not found in a single organ, but in the perfect integration of every body system. The skeleton provides strength, Muscles generate power. The brain coordinates movement. The heart and lungs supply oxygen. The digestive system extracts energy from plants. The immune system protects against disease. Together, these systems create one of nature's most resilient mammals. The next time you see a buffalo standing peacefully in a field or crossing an African plain, remember that beneath its rugged exterior lies an extraordinary living machine. Every heartbeat, every breath, every step, and every mouthful of grass depends on millions of precisely coordinated biological processes working together. It is a remarkable example of evolution's ability to shape anatomy for survival, proving that true strength comes not from one powerful feature, but from the perfect harmony of an entire body working as one. If you enjoyed this realistic 3D anatomy documentary, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow for more fascinating human anatomy, animal anatomy, biomechanics, wildlife, and medical science documentaries.
Have you ever wondered what makes a dog one of the most successful and intelligent animals on Earth? Whether running at incredible speeds, tracking scents for miles, protecting its family, or simply playing with its owner, every movement is made possible by an extraordinary body working in perfect harmony. Beneath a dog's fur lies a highly specialized system of bones, muscles, organs, nerves, and blood vessels that have evolved over millions of years to create one of nature's most remarkable mammals. The foundation of a dog's body is its skeleton, and made up of hundreds of strong bones connected by flexible joints and ligaments. The skeleton provides support, protects vital organs, and allows smooth movement. The skull shields the brain, the rib cage protects the heart and lungs, and the long, flexible spine bends and stretches as the dog walks, runs, or jumps. Powerful leg bones act like natural levers, giving dogs impressive speed, strength, and agility. Surrounding the skeleton is an equally impressive muscular system. Hundreds of muscles work together every second, allowing the dog to sprint, climb, dig, leap, and change direction almost instantly. Every movement begins in the brain, where electrical signals travel through the nervous system to activate specific muscles. Large muscles in the shoulders, chest, hips, and thighs provide the power needed for running, while smaller muscles stabilize the joints and maintain balance. The brain serves as the body's control center. It constantly receives information from the eyes, ears, nose, and skin while coordinating movement throughout the body. Millions of nerve cells communicate using electrical impulses, allowing dogs to react quickly to their surroundings, solve problems, remember commands, and communicate with both humans and other animals. One of the dog's greatest biological advantages is its incredible sense of smell. Inside the nose are hundreds of millions of scent receptors that detect tiny odor molecules carried through the air. These receptors send signals to a highly developed olfactory region of the brain, allowing dogs to recognize individual scents, follow trails over long distances, detect hidden objects, and even identify certain medical conditions that humans cannot smell. A dog's hearing is equally remarkable. Large movable ears capture sound waves and direct them toward the inner ear, where specialized sensory cells convert vibrations into electrical signals. This allows dogs to hear sounds at much higher frequencies than humans and accurately determine where those sounds originate. Vision also contributes to a dog's survival. Although dogs do not see the same range of colors as humans, their eyes are excellent at detecting movement and seeing in dim light. A reflective layer behind the retina increases their ability to gather light, making them excellent hunters and companions during dawn and dusk. At the center of the chest is the heart, a powerful muscular pump that beats continuously throughout the dog's life. Every heartbeat sends oxygen-rich blood through an extensive network of arteries, veins, and tiny capillaries, supplying every organ and muscle with oxygen and nutrients while removing waste products. During exercise, the heart beats faster to meet the body's increased demands. Working closely with the heart are the lungs. Every breath fills millions of tiny air sacs where oxygen enters the bloodstream and carbon dioxide leaves the body. Unlike humans, dogs regulate body temperature mainly by panting. Rapid airflow over moist tissues in the mouth and airways helps release excess heat, preventing dangerous overheating during exercise or hot weather. The digestive system transforms food into energy that powers the entire body. Food is first torn apart by strong teeth before entering the stomach, where powerful acids and digestive enzymes begin breaking it down. Nutrients are then absorbed through the small intestine into the bloodstream, providing proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, and carbohydrates needed for growth, repair, and daily activity. The liver quietly performs hundreds of important tasks, including filtering toxins from the blood, storing nutrients, producing bile for digestion, and supporting metabolism. Nearby, the pancreas produces digestive enzymes and hormones that help regulate blood sugar levels. The kidneys continuously filter waste from the blood while balancing water and essential minerals to keep the body functioning properly. A dog's mouth is specially designed for survival. Sharp canine teeth grip and tear food, while strong jaw muscles generate an impressive bite force. Thick paw pads cushion every step, absorb shock during running, and protect the feet from rough terrain. Strong claws provide excellent traction, allowing dogs to dig, climb, and make quick turns without slipping. The tail is another important part of canine anatomy. Beyond expressing emotions such as happiness, excitement, or fear, the tail also helps maintain balance during running and jumping, acting like a counterweight as the dog changes direction. When a dog begins to run, every body system works together in perfect coordination. The brain sends movement commands, nerves activate muscles, bones provide support, joints flex smoothly, the heart pumps faster, and the lungs deliver additional oxygen. This remarkable teamwork allows dogs to run, chase, play, and work with incredible efficiency. Keeping this amazing body healthy requires proper nutrition, regular exercise, fresh water, routine veterinary care, and mental stimulation. These simple habits help protect the organs, strengthen muscles, maintain healthy joints, and support a long, active life. The next time you see a dog running through a park, wagging its tail, or resting peacefully beside its owner, remember that beneath its fur lies one of nature's greatest engineering masterpieces. Every bone, muscle, organ, and nerve works together with extraordinary precision, making dogs not only loyal companions, but also one of the most biologically impressive animals on Earth. If you enjoyed this realistic 3D anatomy documentary, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow for more fascinating animal anatomy, wildlife science, and educational documentaries.
Have you ever wondered how camels survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth? Imagine walking across a scorching desert where temperatures can soar above 45 degrees Celsius. Water is almost impossible to find, and powerful sandstorms can strike without warning. Most animals wouldn't survive for long, but the camel was built for exactly this kind of world. Every part of a camel's body, from the top of its head to the tips of its feet, has evolved over millions of years to help it survive where few other animals can. That's why camels are often called nature's ultimate desert survivors. Let's take a journey through the complete anatomy of this incredible animal. The camel's body is supported by a strong yet flexible skeleton that allows it to carry heavy loads across vast deserts. Large vertebrae support its long neck, while strong ribs protect vital organs from injury. Powerful joints and thick ligaments absorb the stress of walking for hundreds of kilometers across uneven sand. Beneath the skin lies an impressive muscular system. Massive muscles in the shoulders, neck, back, and legs provide the strength needed to carry both the camel's own body weight and additional cargo over long distances. These muscles are built more for endurance than speed, allowing the camel to travel for days without becoming exhausted. The camel's long neck isn't just for appearance. Strong neck muscles and flexible vertebrae allow it to reach shrubs, leaves, and branches that many other desert animals cannot access. This gives the camel an important advantage when food is scarce. Its skull is equally impressive. Thick facial bones protect the head, while powerful jaw muscles generate enough force to chew some of the toughest plants found in the desert. Unlike many animals, camels can comfortably eat thorny bushes. Their thick, leathery lips are covered with tough tissue that protects them from sharp thorns, allowing them to feed on plants that would injure most other mammals. One of the camel's greatest survival tools is its eyes. 2 rows of long eyelashes act like natural filters, blocking blowing sand before it reaches the eyes. During severe sandstorms, a transparent third eyelid slides across the eye like a windshield, protecting it while still allowing the camel to see. Just below the eyes are another remarkable adaptation: the nostrils. Powerful muscles allow the nostrils to close almost completely whenever sand begins to blow. This simple feature prevents large amounts of dust from entering the respiratory system while still allowing enough airflow for breathing. Inside the chest, the camel's lungs efficiently supply oxygen to the entire body. Even during long desert journeys, the lungs continue delivering oxygen to hard-working muscles, while minimizing unnecessary water loss during breathing. The heart works continuously to pump oxygen-rich blood throughout the body, ensuring that every organ receives the nutrients and oxygen needed to function under extreme heat. Perhaps the most famous part of the camel is its hump. Many people believe the hump stores water, but that's actually a myth. The hump stores fat, not water. This fat acts as a massive energy reserve. Whenever food becomes scarce, the camel breaks down this stored fat to produce energy. During this process, a small amount of metabolic water is also produced, helping the camel survive even longer without drinking. Concentrating the fat inside the hump instead of spreading it throughout the body also helps the camel stay cooler by allowing heat to escape more easily from the rest of its body. Inside the abdomen lies another amazing adaptation: the camel's 4-chambered stomach. This highly specialized digestive system allows it to break down dry grasses, thorny shrubs, and tough desert vegetation while extracting nearly every possible nutrient. Even after swallowing food quickly, the camel can later regurgitate partially digested material and chew it again, just like cattle, allowing more complete digestion. Water conservation is where the camel truly becomes extraordinary. Its kidneys are among the most efficient found in any mammal. They remove waste while returning nearly every possible drop of water back into the body. As a result, camels produce extremely concentrated urine, losing very little water even during severe dehydration. The intestines contribute as well by absorbing almost every remaining drop of water before waste leaves the body, producing very dry feces. In the desert, conserving water is often more important than finding it. Flowing through the camel's bloodstream are one of its most unique adaptations: oval-shaped red blood cells. Unlike the round red blood cells found in humans and most mammals, camel red blood cells are elongated and extremely flexible. They continue flowing even when the blood becomes thicker during dehydration. When the camel finally finds water, these cells can safely expand without bursting, allowing the animal to drink enormous quantities in just a few minutes. Another remarkable feature is temperature regulation. Most mammals try to keep their body temperature nearly constant, but camels allow theirs to rise during the hottest part of the day and cool naturally at night. By reducing the need to sweat, they conserve enormous amounts of precious water. Their thick fur also plays an important role. Although it may seem surprising, The dense coat acts as insulation, protecting the camel from the intense heat of the sun during the day while keeping it warm during the freezing desert nights. Now look at the legs and feet. Long legs lift the body farther away from the burning sand, reducing heat transfer. Thick muscles support every step while flexible joints absorb impact during long journeys. At the bottom are the camel's famous broad padded feet. Instead of hard hooves, camels have large soft pads that spread out when they step onto loose sand. This distributes their weight over a larger surface area, preventing them from sinking while providing excellent grip on unstable dunes. Every step is carefully designed for efficiency, allowing camels to travel across landscapes where vehicles often struggle. When you put all these systems together, the camel becomes one of the greatest examples of biological engineering ever created. Its protective eyes, closable nostrils, tough lips, powerful jaws, fat-storing hump, efficient stomach, water-saving kidneys, specialized blood cells, advanced temperature regulation, strong muscles, lightweight yet durable skeleton, and broad padded feet all work together as one perfectly coordinated survival machine. Very few animals could survive the unforgiving conditions of the world's deserts. But the camel doesn't just survive, it thrives. The next time you see a camel calmly crossing endless sand dunes, remember that beneath its peaceful appearance is one of the most specialized bodies in the animal kingdom, a masterpiece shaped by millions of years of evolution. If you enjoyed discovering the complete anatomy of the camel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BodyverseTV for more amazing animal anatomy and wildlife documentaries. The forest becomes a completely different world when the sun goes down. While most animals are settling into the darkness, a masked face quietly emerges from the shadows. A raccoon, small enough to disappear beneath the trees, but clever enough to survive in some of the most challenging environments. And tonight, this female raccoon is beginning a journey that will eventually lead to one of nature's most remarkable stories. From finding a mate, to choosing a safe den, to raising a new generation. But before motherhood begins, the story starts with a search. The female moves carefully through the woodland, stopping every few seconds to sniff the ground and listen. Her ears rotate toward distant sounds. Her whiskers move as she investigates fallen leaves, tree roots, and branches. Raccoons are mostly nocturnal, so darkness is not an obstacle to them. It is when their world truly comes alive. During the breeding season, males and females may encounter one another while moving through their home ranges. A male approaches cautiously. The female notices him. For a moment, they remain separated by the vegetation, watching and smelling the air around them. There is no dramatic ceremony, no human-like romance, just two wild animals responding to instinct in the conditions around them. Eventually, the female moves on, but her journey is about to change. After mating, she will eventually need something far more important than companionship. She will need a safe place for her young, and finding that place can make the difference between life and death. The female begins investigating possible shelters: a hollow tree, a protected space beneath a fallen log, a quiet cavity hidden among dense vegetation. She carefully examines each location. She sniffs the entrance. She looks inside. She checks the surroundings. The perfect den must provide protection from weather, predators, and other dangers. Finally, she finds a sheltered hollow. It is dark, protected, and difficult for other animals to reach. This will become the nursery. Inside the den, the female rests and prepares for the arrival of her young. After a gestation period of roughly 2 months, something extraordinary happens. A new generation arrives. The newborn kits are tiny, helpless, and completely dependent on their mother. Their eyes are closed. Their movements are limited. They cannot survive on their own. For the first weeks of their lives, the den is their entire world. The mother stays close. She grooms them, keeps them warm, and protects them from danger. Every tiny squeak is important. Every movement tells her that her babies are alive and developing. Outside, the forest continues as normal. Birds move through the trees. Insects crawl through the leaves. Other predators search for food. But hidden inside the hollow tree, a completely different story is unfolding. The kits are growing, slowly at first, then more quickly. Their bodies become stronger. Their characteristic facial markings become more obvious, and eventually their eyes begin to open. For the first time, they can see the world that exists beyond their mother's fur. But seeing the outside world is one thing. Being ready for it is another. The mother knows when it is time to begin introducing them to life outside the den. One of the kits approaches the entrance. It hesitates. Its tiny paws touch the edge of the opening. The forest suddenly looks enormous. The young raccoon takes another step, then another, and finally it emerges. The world outside is filled with unfamiliar smells, sounds, textures, and movement. The mother remains nearby. She does not need to carry them everywhere. Instead, she allows them to explore while staying close enough to respond if danger appears. This is where the real education begins. The young raccoons watch their mother. They follow her movements. They investigate everything around them. A fallen branch becomes something to climb. A patch of leaves becomes something to search through. A tree root becomes a place to sniff and investigate. Their mother is teaching them without words. She is showing them how to move through their environment, how to search, how to climb, how to stay alert, and perhaps most importantly, how to survive. The kits begin practicing their climbing skills. One grips a small tree trunk with its paws. It climbs a little higher, then slips back down. Another follows. The mother watches nearby. Every mistake becomes part of the learning process. As the young raccoons grow, their confidence increases. They begin spending more time outside, but they still stay close to their mother. At night, the family moves through the forest together. The mother searches through leaves and soil, while the young raccoons investigate the world around them. Raccoons are opportunistic feeders, so their diet can include many different foods depending on what is available. They may search for insects, fruits, nuts, small animals, eggs, and other food sources. Their sensitive paws and strong sense of smell help them investigate their surroundings. But the forest is never completely safe. Suddenly, the mother stops. Her ears point forward. Her body becomes still. Something has moved in the darkness. The young raccoons immediately stay close. For several seconds, the entire family waits. The mother listens. She watches. Then the danger disappears. Only after the forest becomes quiet again does she continue moving. This is another lesson for the young. Survival is not always about fighting. Sometimes survival means knowing when to stop, when to listen, and when to move away. Weeks continue to pass. The young raccoons become larger. Their movements become faster. Their climbing becomes more confident. They begin exploring farther from their mother, but she continues watching them. Eventually, the difference becomes obvious. These are no longer helpless newborns. They are young raccoons learning to become independent. One explores a fallen tree. Another searches beneath leaves. Another climbs higher into a nearby trunk. The mother watches for a moment before continuing through the forest. The kits are beginning their own lives. And somewhere in that same woodland, another generation will eventually begin the same journey. A raccoon is born into darkness. It grows inside a hidden den. It opens its eyes. It takes its first steps outside. It learns to climb. It learns to search for food. It learns to recognize danger. And eventually it becomes independent. Years later, that young raccoon may become a parent itself, and the cycle begins again. From mating, to pregnancy, to a hidden den, to tiny newborn kits, to their first steps into the forest, and finally, to independence. The hidden life of a raccoon is not simply a story about one animal. It is a story about survival, about adaptation, about learning, and about a mother preparing her young for a world that does not offer second chances. That is what makes the raccoon so fascinating. Behind those familiar black markings is an animal capable of navigating darkness, finding shelter, adapting to changing environments, and raising young in a world filled with uncertainty. The next time you see a raccoon moving quietly through the darkness, remember, you may be looking at an animal carrying millions of years of survival instincts, a creature that spends much of its life hidden from our eyes. But inside the darkness of the forest, an entire world is unfolding. And somewhere tonight, another mother may be leading her young into the night, teaching them the same lessons that will one day allow them to survive on their own. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden life of the raccoon, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to BodyverseTV for more incredible wildlife documentaries, animal behavior, and fascinating stories from the natural world. Deep inside the forests of Madagascar, after the sun disappears and darkness takes over the canopy, a very unusual animal begins its nightly journey. It has enormous ears, large reflective eyes, shaggy dark fur, a long bushy tail, and one of the strangest fingers in the animal kingdom. This is the eye. At first glance, the eye may look almost bizarre, but every strange feature has a purpose. And once you understand how this animal hunts, its unusual body begins to make perfect sense. The eye is a nocturnal primate, meaning it is mainly active at night. While many animals are settling down to rest, the eye is climbing through the darkness, searching for food. Its long fingers grip branches as it moves carefully through the trees. Its bushy tail helps it balance, while its large eyes collect whatever little light is available. But one of its most remarkable features is hiding on the sides of its head. Its ears are enormous compared with the rest of its body. And those ears are not just for appearance. The eye relies heavily on its sense of hearing while searching for food. Imagine moving through a dark forest where you cannot easily see what is hiding beneath a tree's bark. The eye has another way of searching. It listens. As it approaches a tree trunk, it may become completely still. Its ears rotate toward different sounds. Its head moves slightly. Its eyes remain focused. And then something incredible happens. The eye begins tapping the tree. But this isn't random movement. It uses its elongated middle finger to tap against the bark, creating vibrations and sounds that can help it investigate what may be hidden inside. After tapping, the animal pauses. It listens carefully. The combination of tapping and sensitive hearing helps the eye search for potential prey concealed beneath the surface of the wood. This hunting technique is one of the features that makes the eye so fascinating. But finding the food is only half the challenge. Once the eye identifies a promising location, another unusual part of its anatomy becomes important. Its teeth. The eye has prominent front incisors that continue growing throughout its life. These powerful teeth allow it to gnaw into wood. The animal grips the tree and begins chewing through the bark. Tiny pieces of wood fall away. It pauses, it listens again, then it continues. Eventually, the opening becomes large enough for the eye to investigate what is hidden inside. And now we reach the feature that has made this animal famous. Its extraordinary middle finger. Compared with its other fingers, this finger is extremely long and thin. It is highly specialized and can move independently. The eye can insert this slender finger into small openings and use it to reach food that would be difficult for many other animals to access. The finger moves inside the opening. The animal feels around. Its ears remain alert. Its eyes remain focused. And when it finds something edible, it can hook the food and pull it toward the opening. This combination is what makes the eye such a remarkable specialist. Its ears help it listen, its teeth help it open the wood, and its specialized finger helps it reach inside. Three unusual features working together. What looks strange from the outside is actually a highly effective survival system. The eye doesn't need to tear apart an entire tree. Instead, it can carefully investigate specific sections of wood and search for hidden food. And when it discovers an insect larva or another suitable food source, the long finger becomes its extraction tool. The process may look unusual, but it is incredibly precise. The eye moves through the forest, searching for one opportunity after another. And because it is active at night, its large eyes and sensitive ears become especially valuable. Darkness is not simply an obstacle. For the eye, it is part of its environment. As the night continues, it travels through the canopy, climbing from branch to branch. Its claws grip the bark. Its long tail helps stabilize its body. Its ears react to sounds around it. Its eyes scan the darkness. and its strange finger remains ready for another hunt. This unusual combination of physical features allows the eye to exploit food sources that many other animals cannot easily reach. But survival isn't only about finding food. It is also about avoiding danger, navigating the forest, and eventually producing the next generation. Like other mammals, the eye must reproduce for its species to continue. A female carries her developing baby before giving birth. After the baby is born, the relationship between mother and infant becomes extremely important. A young eye is not immediately capable of surviving alone. The mother protects and cares for her baby while it develops. The infant stays close to her, clinging to her fur, and gradually learning how to move through its environment. As the young eye grows, it will eventually begin developing the abilities needed for an independent life. It will learn how to climb, it will learn how to search for food, and eventually it will face the darkness of the forest on its own. Generation after generation, these unusual adaptations continue. The eye may have one of the strangest appearances in the animal kingdom, but its body tells a fascinating story of survival. Its huge ears aren't simply unusual. They are part of its sensory toolkit. Its large eyes help it navigate the darkness. Its continuously growing incisors allow it to break into wood. Its long, specialized middle finger allows it to reach into tiny spaces. And its claws, limbs, and bushy tail help it move through the complex three-dimensional environment of the forest. Put all of these features together, and the strange appearance suddenly makes sense. The eye isn't randomly designed. Its anatomy reflects the challenges of the environment in which it lives. It has evolved a completely different way of searching for food. Instead of relying only on sight, it can combine sound, touch, and specialized physical structures to locate hidden prey. And that is what makes the eye so fascinating. What looks like a strange finger is actually a specialized hunting tool. What looks like oversized ears are highly useful sensory structures, and what looks like unusual teeth are perfectly suited to opening the wood where its food may be hiding. As the night comes to an end, the eye continues moving through the forest. Eventually, darkness begins giving way to the first signs of morning. The animal disappears deeper into the trees, leaving behind a world that most of us rarely see. But somewhere inside the forest, another eye may already be beginning its nightly search. Tap, listen, search, gnaw, reach, and feed. A simple sequence that reveals one of nature's strangest and most fascinating hunting techniques. The eye reminds us that in the natural world, strange doesn't necessarily mean useless. Sometimes the strangest features are the ones that make an animal remarkably successful. From its enormous ears to its unusual teeth, from its giant eyes to its famous elongated middle finger, every part of the eye tells a story. A story of adaptation, a story of survival, and a story written over generations in the forests of Madagascar. So the next time you see an eye and wonder why it looks so unusual, remember that you're looking at an animal whose entire body has been shaped around a very specialized way of life. And that strange finger, it may be one of the most remarkable hunting tools found among primates. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden world of the eye, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to BodyverseTV for more fascinating animal anatomy, wildlife behavior, and incredible stories from the natural world.